Hi everybody, welcome to SCED 3337, Content and Methods of Teaching Secondary English Language Arts, more commonly referred to as methods. I'm Dr. Rimler and I'm your professor this term. Several of you already know me from your Practicum 2 experience, but if you haven't worked with me before, I look forward to getting to know you better. This methods course explores the research-based best practices of teaching secondary English language arts. We'll examine the best practices of teaching writing, language conventions, and reading. And of course, you'll get to employ those best practices during Internship 1. Because the students in this class are based on multiple campuses, this course takes place online, but it's not self-paced. It's scheduled for you to do your asynchronous work according to your own schedule and then meet synchronously via Zoom on Friday mornings. You'll conduct many online activities through Folio, and of course, you'll submit your assignments through Folio. So it makes sense that we take a tour of our Folio e-classroom. Because you're in your senior year, I'm giving this tour with the understanding that you're already experienced with Folio, but if you are new to this learning management system, please let me know and I will get you the appropriate resources to help you navigate our e-classroom. Okay, let's take a look. First, I want to show you how to turn on notifications in Folio. This way you can choose which notifications to receive via email or text. You can access these settings by clicking on your name at the upper right corner of the screen and then select the notifications link. You will navigate to this page. You'll see that under the contact methods, your Georgia Southern email address is your default address. Here, I'll confirm that when I communicate with you via email, I will use your Georgia Southern email address. So if you have a preferred address, make sure that your Georgia Southern email forwards to that address. Underneath your email address, you have an option to register your phone number. With this number, you can opt for text notifications. When you register your phone number, you'll have to verify your phone service provider, and then after you type in your phone number, Folio will text you an authentication code, which you'll need to enter into the prompt on this page. If you scroll down this page, you'll see a list of Folio actions for which you can receive notifications. All of these notifications can be emailed to you. Several of them can be texted to you. Simply check the notifications you want to receive and whether you want to receive them via email or text message. Be sure to save your settings at the bottom of the page before you leave this page. Now let's take a look at our Folio homepage. When you access our Folio homepage, the news feed is going to be the first information tool that you see. Because this is the beginning of the semester, we have only one news item in this tool. But if I ever need to communicate with the class at large, I will communicate with you using this news tool. So it's going to be important that you check this tool every day. And if customizing your notifications helps you to remember to check that news tool, then that's what I recommend doing. As I add posts to this news tool, the posts will be arranged chronologically so that the most recent post will be the first thing that you see. Each additional post will push the earlier posts farther and farther down the page. I tell you this because you also have access to the content of the course on this first page, but as I add information to the news tool, this content will get pushed farther and farther down the page. And so it will be more convenient for you to access the course content by clicking on this content link at the upper left-hand corner. Let's click on that link now to see the content browser. Before we explore the content browser, I want to emphasize the schedule of this online course. As I mentioned before, even though this course takes place online, it's not self-paced. Through the first 4 days of the week, you can complete the asynchronous online activities according to your own schedule. But you are scheduled to meet synchronously with this class via Zoom web conferencing on Friday mornings, so keep those mornings available. Now let's look at the course content. When you enter the content browser, you'll arrive at our table of contents page, which shows you the entire outline of the course week by week. You can access our course activities from this table of contents page, which is convenient at the beginning of the term. But as we move forward into later weeks, you might not want to scroll down quite so far. So you can access the course content via this left-hand menu, which is organized week by week. Notice that I've also given you the dates for each week of the semester. So if you click on week 1, for example, you'll see only the content for week 1. But I'm going to start by clicking on this important documents folder. It includes the syllabus, the course map, and all of your assignment guidelines. This folder is more of a reference folder than a folder of learning activities. You'll return to this folder repeatedly through the semester, but this week you will be required to read through all of these documents so that you can understand how to proceed in order to earn the highest grade possible. Beneath the important documents folder are the folders loaded with the course content. As I noted, each folder is designated by week, and each folder includes the dates of each week. A semester consists of 15 weeks. Our first week begins on a Wednesday. Because that first week is only 3 days, the remaining 2 days occur the last week of November. At the beginning of each week, you will click on the designated folder. I'll open week 1 as an example. Each folder begins with a description at the top. Then it includes a set of learning objectives. Following the objectives, you'll progress through a series of enumerated tasks which are set up to be completed in order. For instance, you must read the objectives in order to move forward to task 1. Then you must complete task 1 in order to move forward to task 2. When a task includes a different Folio tool, such as a quiz or a discussion, I will also include a direct link to that tool. In week 1, for instance, you see a direct link to a discussion board, and you see a direct link to a quiz on course policies. Each module will also include a task near the end, which is our Zoom discussion for the week. I won't show you every week in this course because you can do that on your own, but because week 1 is a short week and a very busy week, I'll show you week 2 as an example of what the rest of the folders will look like. As you open this folder, you'll see a description that explains the topic of focus for the week, and because this class has asynchronous as well as synchronous activities, this description also makes some suggestions about how to organize your time and your workload each week. This description also explains the graded assignments that you can anticipate for the week. Beneath each description is a set of objectives, followed by an enumerated set of tasks to complete. Some of those tasks are readings, some are videos, some are self-assessments or brief graphic organizers. Some of these activities are required for you to be prepared for our weekly Zoom discussion. So even though you might not get a grade on that activity itself, your completion of that activity will figure into the score you earn on your weekly Zoom discussion. Proceed through the tasks in order. They are configured so that you must complete one task before moving on to the next. After your last task, which is the Zoom discussion, you'll find a file titled Need More Information. This file includes supplemental content in case you want to extend your learning on the week's topic or if you need some clarification on what you've learned that week. There are no graded assignments in the Need More Information files. And then beneath that file is a file that includes information about how to prepare for the next week. This file will alert you of any reading assignments coming up in case you want to get a head start on that, or any videos that you could watch to help you succeed in the next week's lessons. And then finally, at the end of each week's content is a set of references documenting the sources we used for that week. When you begin a new week every Monday morning, you will click on the folder for that next week and begin again. In addition to the weekly activities you'll complete, there are a few assignments that you'll do, and you should take some time to read the assignment guidelines carefully. Of course, we'll discuss the assignments along the way during our Zoom conversations, but I want you to be aware of them now so that you can manage your time and your workload. All of the assignment guidelines are loaded in our Important Documents folder. You will receive a copy of Rudolfo Anaya's novel, Bless Me Ultima, and you should read that novel for this course. We'll use that novel as the context for many of our activities and a couple of assignments. For instance, you will complete an instructional plan that reflects at least 4 days of instruction focusing on Bless Me Ultima. You'll compose that instructional plan on our SCED lesson plan template, and in your plan you will demonstrate the best practices of teaching writing, language conventions, and literature. The assignment guidelines are in our Important Documents folder here, and I've also provided you an example of an instructional plan so that you can see a model of successful work. We will also examine the best practices of creating writing assignments, and you will create a writing assignment of your own, and it will be connected to Rodolfo Anaya's novel, Bless Me Ultima. These assignment guidelines are also stored in our Important Documents folder here, and as you read through those guidelines, you'll see how they also follow the best practices that you'll need to follow as you write your own set of assignment guidelines. And finally, you will video record yourself teaching a lesson in your Internship 1 experience. That lesson, of course, will focus on whatever concepts your clinical supervisor is teaching. So your demonstration might be a writing lesson, a grammar lesson, a literature lesson. It could be any number of things. Your video should be 20 to 30 minutes long, and it should accompany a lesson plan using our lesson plan template. Our class will view all of those videos, and then at the end of the term, we will engage in a peer-reviewed discussion via Zoom to talk about the strengths and opportunities that we see in each video. By the end of this term, I will compile those lesson plans and those assignment guidelines that you have all created, and I'll put them in a portfolio of materials that you can then use as you move forward to Internship 2 and your first year of teaching. Of course, you will have plenty of opportunities to ask questions about these assignments, see examples of successful work, and discuss strategies, but I want you to be aware now of the work that you have ahead of you. So that's our Folio e-classroom. Now that you have a lay of the land, so to speak, please take some time to read the syllabus carefully, examine our course map, familiarize yourself with the assignments, and explore the e-classroom on your own. And of course, if you have any questions at all about the e-classroom itself or the policies and procedures of this course, please let me know.